According to the 9/11 Commission chairman, the terror threat across the world is worse now than it was in 2001. But why is that?
Joining us on the Kogo News Live line is terrorism analyst Dr. Alex Del Carmen. And Dr. Del Carmen, there has been so much anti-terrorism work done here in the United States in the last 15 years. Why aren't we any safer?
You know, if you look back at 15 years ago, there's no question that we were under serious threat back then by Al-Qaeda and other groups. But today we have a much more sophisticated group. For instance, if you look at ISIS, and their ability to penetrate through your social media to your homes and the average homes of most Americans, you know, clearly most people look back and say, wow, we are clearly going to be one step away from being attacked at the local mall, at the local movie theater, or somewhere where we perhaps may hang out on a weekend.
But we haven't had that huge, horrific attack like we had on 9/11. So don't we seem to be a little safer?
In some ways we are, in the fact that, first of all, we're more conscious of it. Secondly, we've improved our airport security. We've improved our train security, our bus security. We have the ability now to communicate among agencies in a way that we never did back then. But technology has really advanced to such degrees that today we look back and we say, wow, terrorists are communicating within U.S. soil.
And not only that, but when you take a look, you know, at what happened in Paris at the Bataclan, and you also see that there were recent arrests of young kids who had not been to Syria, who were plotting attacks. I mean, is that the kind of thing that we're going to see here?
Absolutely. And I think what worries us on a daily basis are soft targets. The fact that terrorists can simply get on a bus and run over people at a local event, or perhaps poison the water wells, being able to go out there and shoot people randomly inside a mall or a movie theater. I mean, that's what really worries us, is the fact that anyone is vulnerable. There's no geographic immunity across the United States where we can look at a city and say you're so far removed from the mainstream that you're not going to be attacked.
What about here in San Diego? We're such a big military town. Are we one of those targets?
I think so. And if you look back at the history of all of these attacks, many of them focus on military bases. I mean, if you look at what ISIS has been targeting particularly is law enforcement and the military. So I would argue that San Diego is not, let me put it this way, is not immune from being attacked by an organized terrorist group.
And that, I think, is something that worries us, especially after what had happened in San Bernardino, just up the road from us, where, you know, a guy and his wife go into an office party and start mowing people down. I mean, is that how do you even prepare for that?
There's no way you can. And, you know, the FBI does a great job, and the FBI director, Comey, has actually said it many, many times. You know, all 50 states have individuals that are either affiliated or have some sort of a sympathy towards ISIS. And the FBI monitors these individuals on a daily basis, waiting for them to violate the law so they can be arrested. But at the end of the day, he is incapable, as anyone else in law enforcement will tell you, that they are incapable of being able to prevent all of the attacks all the time.
I mean, it sounds kind of like doom and gloom, but if people are listening, sitting in their cars right now, what do you tell them? How do you reassure them, if you can?
Look, our law enforcement is the best law enforcement in the world. There is no question that our intelligence community is the best in the world. And so we are in the hands of individuals that teach others from other countries how to do our business. So at the end of the day, we're a great country. We have been safe, relatively safe, given our size, our complexity, and our demographics. And so we just have to have faith that we continue to live life and we are going to be productive citizens and love our United States. But at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be always vulnerable. We're always going to have people that hate us, but we just have to be vigilant, but still live our lives.
Terrorism analyst Dr. Alex Del Carmen with us here on the Kogo News Live line. Thanks so much, Doc.